Everyone, and welcome to a new LEGO Star Wars set review. This is the V-19 Torrent Starfighter. This retails for $65 in the United States and has 567 pieces with 3 minifigures. In this video, we're going to see if this set is truly worth that price tag. Look at the back of the box and you can see the 3 amazing minifigures in this set. This minifigure of the clone pilots, and this minifigure is almost perfect. Again, people you've seen complain on the internet say that the yellow stripe needs to go back further. I honestly agree. When I look at this, I just think there's so much empty space in the top of this helmet where that yellow stripe should be, and it's not, and it just ends so abruptly. Like when you get this in person, I feel like people will see what people mean by that yellow stripe. Otherwise, it's not horrible. I think it's a great clone pilot, and honestly, it looks very good. Back printing is exactly the same as we've been getting in other clones. We have a Saz Ventress, and this Ventress minifigure is honestly almost perfect in my opinion. She is honestly such an amazing figure that we haven't gotten in over, I want to say 15 years, since like 2012, not even 2012, 2011, if that. But again, when I say almost perfect, I mean she doesn't have dual molded legs, which would have worked perfectly on this minifigure because you just need purple all around it and it works fine. They just didn't do that in this case, which is very frustrating because they don't do that for LEGO Star Wars. They don't like making their figures almost perfect. But again, this is still a great minifigure, and she does have like a more modern Clone Wars style face, which is just a mixture between like a normal face, basically, and Clone Wars. So again, there's no pupils on this minifigure, which also kind of sucks. There absolutely should be, and I'm mad there kind of isn't. And again, here's a quick look at the back face that she has. And you do actually get 3 of her lightsaber hilts in this set, which I think is pretty cool. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this Obi-Wan Kenobi is honestly such a good minifigure. It has such good printing all around it. The arm printing is absolutely beautiful. The torso printing is beautiful. And this is the first time we've gotten this minifigure since the OG Clone Wars sets. And again, here's a quick look at his back facial printing, and it's pretty good. His beard is definitely ruffled, which I think is cool. I just don't know how much I like it compared to what the Clone Wars style is. I still think it's very cool though. However, again, the biggest problem with this minifigure is that there's no dual molded legs and that the printing is just a yellowish tan when it should be the darker, like a slightly darker tan. The color is just completely off, which really frustrates me. You can take a look at the V-19 Torrent itself. This set does feel a little bit small. The wings are definitely smaller than they should be, but I think this center console area is perfect in my opinion. I think it's so tiled off that it looks very good. Just the biggest problems are that the tiles don't reach this front and it just drops abruptly. However, that is definitely more accurate compared to the old one. My biggest flaw with this set currently is that my windshield piece is scratched. You can see these scratches all around it, and this is how it came in the box. I did not scratch this myself or anything. So I'm definitely hopefully going to be contacting customer support and hopefully getting a new one. But by the time that happens, I'll already be in college, so there's no point at this current point in time. So let's just continue to look at this. Get the side of the build and the back of the build where you can see the back wing, and it just sits nicely on the ground. There's no landing gear on the set whatsoever, which I think is fine because it sits at the right position instead of leaning forward like the old one did. I guess we can take a look at the play feature to start this. So each wing opens by itself. However, they do lock in place. They lock in place using these pieces and these that give it the perfect angle. You can also drop the back wing to have this as your look for your V-19, and I think it looks pretty good. Look is definitely a little bit small. However, I think at this scale, it looks pretty good. The wings should have been slightly longer, but I think this looks very cool nonetheless. In this position, we can open up the cockpit and take a look on the interior. There is a little stickered panel right there, and it's just the normal panel. It's similar to the old one we got, which I'll show you in my review of this comparison of the set. And of course, you can also place a minifigure, which of course is the clone, in this build. And if you can get it normally, we can see that he's just poking through the glass, and I think it looks very cool, especially that it's the accurate color. Now, there is only one Republic sticker, or I guess logo, which is a sticker. The white is definitely a little bit different than this white, but it's closer than all the other colors they get. And there isn't one on the side, which is technically accurate to what this ship is in universe. Look at the underside of this. There is a clip here, and then just some pieces here that when you clip it on, you don't hear it that much, but it clips quite fine. And there's a little look of a blaster here. In my opinion, do look pretty good on both sides compared to the sets like the Bad Batch shuttle or Ahsoka's Starfighter. Not Ahsoka's Starfighter, Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor thingy. I can't remember what it's called, but it has both sides that look almost the same, and it doesn't really take away from the set that much in my opinion. This is what the set looks like from the side. The engines do go all the way back to the back of the wing, which I think is actually kind of cool. And yeah, there's nothing else too much crazy to the set. There are 2 stud shooters, one on either side, that when you flip down, you can access them better. And the cannons are technically accurate. You have the one main cannon, and then this technically isn't a cannon, but it is there for a play feature. It's not accurate, but it's a play feature. Play features aren't meant to be accurate at all. So I think this works very well in my opinion. Lastly, before we go, I do like the thickness of these wings. I love the 2 stud and 3 stud in some areas design, and I think it benefits this set really well. And honestly, I'm growing on the set the more and more I have it, except for this angle. This angle is, I think, the worst of the set because the wings just look so chubby. Besides that, everything else on the set is almost perfect. I think it's one of, if not the best sets from this wave. Everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.